What's up, everybody? Welcome to Before You Watch. I'm Blake.
This is Poppy again.
And today we are going to do Civil War with tons and tons of spoilers.
Yay.
And before we jump into it, as you go ahead, hit that subscribe button, support the channel, help us out.
Hit the subscribe button, support the channel, and help us out.
Yeah, that's the exact same thing I just said, so you didn't probably have to repeat it.
I was trying to accentuate.
Exacerbate?
And relevate.
Enunciate?
8.
Emancipate?
I'm about to do something with an 8 on the end.
Hate?
Hate. T8.
Anyways, yeah. Civil War. I'll let you go ahead and kick it off with your thoughts of Captain America. Civil War.
Well, you said it best earlier, redundancy. I've seen this before. It was Batman Superman. But it's just a classic Marvel movie. You know.
Did you like it?
Scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 6.5.
See, I'd go higher than that. I'd rate it, and yes, I'm going to say the words, right around the same as I had Batman vs. Superman. Around the same.
Yeah.
7.5, somewhere in there.
I don't give it that only because this is like the 29th movie in the Marvel phase. This 2, I guess, now. Is this 2? I don't know.
Phase 3.
This is 3.
This is phase 3, yeah.
Wow. Whatever. I've seen this before. Same fucking movie. Same movie. Same tone. Same pace. Except for a little different pace than an origin story. But
yeah, but origin stories are
slower pace.
Pointless and useless.
Yeah, but this
to
is...
be honest, but anyway.
I'm not that excited, if you can tell. I was just not that excited. But go ahead.
I liked it. There were parts I didn't like. There's questionable decisions that they made. I don't know. It's the redundancy of this is, the 12th or 13th movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're all kind of melding together and kind of feeling the same at this point. To me, like, that's the part I didn't like about it. Like, story was good. It's not a direct adaptation of Civil War.
Not at all.
Yeah. Like, outside of they don't like each other, they're fighting, and they had to sign something to register and have government overseeing them or whatever. But
what are the accords?
You look it up on Google. I don't even.
But is that the Registration Act?
It's supposed to be, but they're calling it something different.
Why don't they call it the Registration Act?
I don't know.
And these are the problems that I have with, and this is supposed to be a Marvel movie, which is supposed to be pretty much more directly adapted from the comic book. Yeah.
But see, they don't never directly adapt anything from the comic books, to be honest. I mean, like, they take ideas from the comics and then just completely change it and make it something completely different. Like, it's never a direct adaptation of a comic book story ever.
Well, I've said this 1,000 times. You can't take a book, change it, and call it the same thing. It's not going to be... Yeah. You don't have Stephen King books and whatever books that whoever made, and you change them totally and call them the same thing. This is getting to be the Bible to me. Like, so many adaptations of something is going to turn false. You're not going to even think it's real anymore. It's not going. It's already not real. And now you're going to look at it like, this is not even a... What is this? This is a movie about actors that we like, and they're just going to portray them on the screen with a costume on, and we just going to like it because it got Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Well, I was telling you earlier about the Deadpool director, the interview I was watching, where he was basically bashing both Fox and Disney for the way they adapt things, but at the same time, basically bigging up in himself for the Deadpool thing, which was, he said, who am I to change the stuff that people already loved? Like, if you loved a story or if you loved a character, who am I to come in and say I can do it better? I can change the character or I can change the story, and I can write it to make it a better story than it already was. He's like, I can't. You love this for what it is. I'm just going to adapt it and make it what it was in the comics. And I think that's where everything is losing sight of, just like I told you, Days of Future Past. Like, I wish they wouldn't have made the movie, because you basically ruined not only the comic book version, you ruined the 1992 cartoon version that was 10 times better than the movie. Like,
it's just a disconnect that they don't understand. Not that they care because they make millions of dollars, but it's a disconnect of what should be in the movie and what should be really that people want to see, as far as what they want to see, but still making it where it's true. And it's not true. It's just a movie to get money to me. That's the way I look at it.
And the thing is like, they always give us the spiel of, well, we can't do it exactly like that because we have to make it for everybody, not just the fans of the comics. Like, we got to get the people off the streets that never read a comic in their life to like the story. But I go back to the director who says, who are you to say that you can do it better than the people that already wrote the story? Like, if you're going to adapt this story that was so beloved by comic book fans, adapt the story. Don't change it. Don't rewrite the story. Don't make it something that doesn't even resemble the story anymore. Or just don't call it that. Just be like, hey, man, we're going to make these people fight, and we're going to come up with a reason for it.
Was Winter Soldier even in Civil War?
Yeah, he had a big part. But at the same time, that was like the only thing to me that felt even Captain America about it was the Winter Soldier Captain America stuff. Because it really is an Avengers movie. I mean, to me, that's the way I felt. Like, the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, all right, why didn't you just call us Avengers?
See, I never got through the whole Civil War yet, but...
you're talking about the comic. I thought you meant... No, I don't remember him. I mean, they basically had all the characters, but I don't... see, I'd have to look it up. It's been a few years since I've reread it. So... yeah, I don't think he was, though. I mean, they have everybody. They have Goliath in there, and he dies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've got a lot of obscure characters.
Right. And that's what I thought was going to be in it. I mean, I heard from a couple people there's going to be a ton of characters that are not in the preview, and that's not at all true.
No, oh gosh, no.
So
it's, everybody you saw in the last trailer is in the movie, and there's basically no one else.
Crossbones just die.
That, and we were talking earlier after we got out of the movie about, I was saying, Disney Marvel doesn't have the villains that they need to have. And that's the thing that kind of kills me. Like, they've had a few good villains, but it's so sparse and so in between. But on top of that, they kill all their villains. They always kill the villains. Now, they didn't kill Zemo, but Zemo was just... someone to
really
pull strings. You know what I'm saying? He was pulling strings in the background. That's all Zemo was doing. It was basically Luther, but he wasn't maniacal or evil and wasn't a good villain. Like,
well, yeah,
he could be. Now, he's still alive, so they still have a chance to make him a good villain.
But they set up that Thunderbolt stuff, so that's what make it really whack, because he's not really a villain. He's like, I don't really want to make him a villain. I want to make him somewhat understandable and likable, so I can translate him and make him an anti-hero in the next Thunderbolt. So it's
definitely what it seems like they were
he wanted to kill himself. So when Panther stopped him, it's like, okay, we're going to keep him kind of on the edge. Yeah. So he on the fence, so y'all can't not like him because he might be the leader of the Thunderbolts. Spoiler.
But see, even like to me, like the Thunderbolts are just like bad guys. Where didn't they put like chips in their head or something to like to shock them or something like that? Like if they didn't do the thing, but like they were always villains. They were always bad guys. Like they just basically said you can be locked up for the rest of your life, or you can work for us and go out there and do some good. And then you know what I'm saying, that was the Thunderbolts. Like I don't even need him to be likable. He can still be a villain. Like you got Suicide coming out soon. Like they're villains. Like Harley Quinn is a bad guy. Deadshot's a bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Deadshot ain't really a bad guy.
He is, but he isn't. I mean, they've tried to mold him into something, but he originally was a bad guy. I mean, that's what he was. They gave him the backstory about doing it for his daughter and all that stuff, but that was kind of like
it was later.
Was like mid 2000s when they started doing that, like to make him more sympathetic and kind of in between good and bad or whatever. But
I'm overall just not pleased. I'm not disappointed, but I'm not pleased. I'm just at a center point right now where I need something to happen. I need something good to happen in this. I don't see it ever coming to that because they didn't exhausted pretty much all their real heroes.
They need to change the formula. I think that's what my biggest takeaway from this is. They need to change the formula. They need to start doing something different because everything outside of maybe Guardians kind of feels the same to me. You know what I mean? Like it's getting real repetitive, and redundant. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Cap and Iron Man beef, they had arguments, did they come together? It's just...
Is it you even said Iron Man's feeling like Wolverine now. Like, it's just like, we're getting in the overload mode of Iron Man.
Oversaturation of a character that's likable because he's Robert Downey Jr. Mm-hmm. I mean, you might as well bring Johnny Depp in and have him be a likable guy, too. Because everybody just loved the actor.
Who would you cast Johnny Depp as in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Who would I cast Johnny Depp as? Let me think.
I don't know why I even just thought of that, but I just kind of wondered, like, who would Johnny Depp play?
That's a good one. Put a bookmark in.
Like, I would say maybe Doctor Strange. But,
put a bookmark in that one. I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
Quirky, weird,
exactly,
nice, likable guy. We'll go back to that one.
All right. I will say two of the high points or the highlights of the movie to me were one, Black Panther. Like, I can't wait to see more Black Panther. Like, I thought Black Panther was awesome, amazing. The story arc, everything is fighting. Like, everything was just amazing. I loved Black Panther.
Yeah, they implemented that good, but they gonna mess that up too.
And I'll tell you why in a minute, why they're gonna mess that up. And then two, I liked Spider-Man. But the thing is, and I hate to bring it back to Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, the Sony movies, the ones that everybody hated, even though they made $700-800 million or whatever it was, is everybody hated on the writing in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, oh, he's telling these stupid jokes while he's fighting, and he's too quippy and blah, 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 and it's teenage jokes and all this stuff. And then it's like, you get to this and you read all the reviews and everybody loves the exact same things they just said they hated 2 or 3 years ago with Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm like, it's not any different. It's the exact same thing. I love the fact that Marvel did that because that's Spider-Man. That's the way Spider-Man is supposed to be. He's supposed to be obnoxious. He's supposed to never shut up. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be making jokes all the time. Like, I don't get... Well, I know why. I mean, we all know why. But it's like, just, if you're going to hate it, hate it. Don't tell me Spider-Man's great, and then Spider-Man was horrible in the other one, and it's the exact same Spider-Man.
Hey, I don't have much to say about it. Like I say, this movie I'm, like, really put off. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I'm put off. It's just like, you giving me something... And basically, I felt like I gave you money. You just gave me something I already seen 1,000 times from you, and I just gave you money for it. And here's my $10. Let's go see an Avengers 15 because Phase 58. It don't matter what phase we in. It's gonna be Avengers again. Too many characters, too much stuff going on, and not enough focal. Like. The reason why I like Captain America 1, it was just about him.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like Captain America 1, but that's probably... Well, I like the Winter Soldier, but Cap 1 is just... It's a great Captain America story. It's time dated, and they did it right with, taking it back to that, and then bringing him in the new world at the end. Like, that was a really good movie. Plus, you have the Red Skull, which is one of their better villains. And he was really good in that, too. That's also why it makes it a great movie. We're talking about they don't have the villains. Yeah. Like, you had one of your best villains, and you still haven't used him yet. I don't know why they won't bring him back. I know Hugo Weaving, yeah. He said he's not going to come back and play it, but you can cast anybody at this point. He's already the Red Skull. You know what I mean? So
I thought Zemo was going to have something to do with the Red Skull, like knew him or something. But whatever.
I mean, they changed basically Zemo's whole backstory and everything, like with making him Sokovian and
Right. Don't even put my man in the purple mask. You could at least put him in the purple mask.
I don't know about that.
But just hook me up, man, with some kind of real comic book, relation. It's just, And then I thought Agent 13 was gonna be in the movie as far as being an action-packed person in it or something, doing something.
Agent 13, by the way, if you don't know, is Peggy's niece, right? There's a niece. Yeah. What's her first name? Something Car. I don't know why I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But she was in the first one. The lady who lived across the hall was spying on Cap. And spoilers if you've never read Civil War. She's the one who I think she gets mind controlled or something like that, and then she sets Cap up to get killed by Crossbones. And it's kind of the aftermath of Civil War. It actually really wasn't part of Civil War, but it's part of Civil War. Because he's going to court and he gets shot or whatever because of the Civil War events. That's why I say it's part of Civil War. But I kind of feel like they're not going to do that in the movies. Like,
I mean,
they may kill Cap. I just don't think she's going to have any part of it.
I mean, probably not. I mean, why would they? I mean, they got to keep Chris Evans as an actor. Then again,
I mean, like, I think they will kill him just on the fact that you have basically both Bucky and Falcon, and you've kind of exhausted their stories almost. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not Falcon, but with Bucky, I mean, you get the sense at the end that you've kind of exhausted that story. Like, you can't make him a villain or a bad guy anymore. Or people who, you know what I mean? Like, maybe outside of the Iron Man thing, Iron Man might want to kill him, but... And that was another thing. That was one of the things I didn't like. And, well, I don't want to say I didn't like it.
I liked it.
I don't know until I see where the story goes if I like the fact that Tony Stark's parents were killed by Bucky. It might end up being good, but it might end up being horrible. Because we really don't have any closure on that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like I say, it goes back to the fact that the movie is very lackluster. It's missing a lot of shine. And I already said it, like, it's missing something. Like, all these movies are missing something that should be there. But I say it's like the darkness. It's missing the darkness. And that's why Batman is always the best to me. Because, it has a darkness to it. And even if you don't like the darkness, I mean, it could still be some kind of dark. Everything ain't joyful. And even at the end, they fighting. It's bright and lovely and snow. I don't need that all the time. I need to see them not really... I need to feel like they really didn't like each other. Or really, it's just not there. It's not there.
Oh, two things. One, I want to bring up something that you were talking about earlier before we started recording about the jokes, and everybody has to have like their own jokes. And you were talking about the Batman, and part of the reason that the Batman movies always work is it's serious, and he might say something that it might be kind of funny or something like that, but it's not. It's just darker. It's just more serious. Not even dark. I don't even want to say dark. It's serious. There's a serious tone. There's consequences. There's things that are happening, and it's not just so happy-go-lucky all the time. You know what I mean? And like even Marvel, this is probably the darkest movie Marvel's ever made. It's still very light and fluffy and happy-go-lucky.
Bring your kids.
Better not bring your kids.
Bring your kids.
Yeah, you definitely bring your kids.
Bring your kids, man.
The Spider-Man, I swear it was hilarious.
Right? Oh shit.
Yeah. That
was funny. Yeah, bring your kids. Like Black Widow, I like to see ass shots, and this is the X-rated part of the. This is the X-rated part of the broadcast. I'm not saying
you can go ahead and skip 2 minutes if you don't want to hear.
I don't want to. It's not X-rated, but I want to see her look sexy. I want to see titties out. I want to see an ass shot of Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? The most shit we got was Cap kissing Carter. That was like, oh, it's so Cap kissed a woman. Is he gay? He ain't gay. So why we gotta have such, sexual tension? I don't know if he likes girls. Man, come on, man. I'm done with that. I need to see, something that appeals to me besides a comic book character. I mean, part of the reason why I like comics when I was a kid, the women was always wearing some provocative stuff. They had big breasts.
Oh, it definitely
and big booties.
It definitely drew.
Shapes.
It definitely drew in the young male.
And as much as
eight, I'd say probably 8 to
13. Because when you get 14, 15, you ain't looking at no comic. You gonna get a Playboy. But the thing is,
or at least watch Baywatch.
Baywatch, which we're watching right now, it's just on the back screen. But what I'm saying is,
did you turn Baywatch?
Yeah, I turned Baywatch on because I like Baywatch.
Okay, anyway,
Pamela Anderson. I'm thinking this was. Oh no, that's the chick from me. Yeah, I like her too. But the thing is, like,
that's Charles in Charge, right?
Yeah, Charles in Charge. Yeah, and
I
digress. But even the comic books even brought in, women. No matter what you say, girls like to see big buff dudes. You got Namor with nothing on but a Speedo. You bring that in. By the way, Namor was a big part of the Civil War, which he's not in the movie. And they still ain't talking about...
They can't use them.
They can't use them.
They can't use them.
Why can't you use Namor?
Universal still owns all the rights. They sold the rights with Hulk, and they sold Namor. They bought the rights back to have Hulk in movies, but if they do a solo Hulk movie, then Paramount still gets to distribute it. But with the Namor stuff, they never bought the rights back. So I think they're still all there. They can't even use them. So
all right, this is corporate talk, Blake.
Yeah, my bad.
And that's fine. I mean, educate the people. I didn't know that, but at the same time, that's part of the reason why.
But they did. The writers of this movie said they want to bring Namor in if they can get the rights back.
You have to. You have to have everybody. How you gonna be Marvel, but I don't own my characters that these guys are? You gonna have Civil War with no X-Men and no Fantastic Four?
I mean, I'll give you a quick 30-second explanation while this happened. Marvel was going bankrupt, and they were like, "We need money," so they started selling off all their rights to other studios. So Fox got X-Men and everything that has to do with mutants. Paramount got the Hulk. Fox also got Blade. They got Fantastic Four. And there was also rumors that Warner Brothers wanted to buy Captain America, but it didn't actually happen. And then there was someone else. Oh, Thor. Sony bought Spider-Man. They also wanted to buy Thor, but that didn't end up happening either. And then when we got to like 2006 or whatever, someone over there had the bright idea, let's make our own movies and stop selling off the rights. And this is where we got the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all that stuff. But yeah, that's basically a real quick version of where everybody went to and how they don't have the rights to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically the gist of it. I'm trying to think of what it was. There was something else I wanted to say before I brought up the happy-go-lucky everybody's got. Man, what was it I was going to say? I can't remember.
I don't know. You're talking about people who were having jokes.
Yeah, but there was something else I wanted to say after that, and now I'm just losing my train of thought.
Okay, go back to it. Go back to it.
Anyway, you go ahead and talk about something about the movie, and I'll try to think of it for a second.
There are a few surprises. There are very few. I mean, to have a movie with no surprises are, a spoiler is one thing. Like, if I shoot a spoiler at you, you're going to be like, wow, that's a spoiler. You're not going to get many in this. I mean, Ant-Man becomes Giant Man. Surprise, I didn't expect it.
At the same time about that,
I thought he was going to go nuclear. That's what I thought he was going to do.
I think they're called pop figures or whatever, like the little tiny figures. They had a Giant Man figure that came out like 2 months before the movie. So you probably didn't see it on the internet, but I saw that on the internet, so I already kind of knew.
Well, that was a surprise to me. Another surprise, they chopped off when Iron Man shot off Bucky's arm. Shot off Soldier's arm.
That was crazy.
That was pretty cool. But then again, it was like, it's kind of stupid because he's not gonna not have his arm. And they kind of played towards it with the vibranium when he was fighting Panthers. So he gonna get it back. So it's I kind of knew it was gonna go. That arm's gotta go. Like I knew it was gonna go because
you're gonna lose that arm. You're gonna lose that arm.
I don't care if you lock up with a fucking vice.
Bonus points to anybody who goes down in the comments and tells us where that quote is from.
You can lock that arm in the fucking safe. That arm's coming off.
You're gonna lose that arm.
You're gonna lose that arm.
If you know what that's from, bonus points. I subscribe to nobody on my channel.
You might get a prize.
I will send you a Blu-ray. I tell you right now. If you tell me what it is, the first person that comments on this video and tells me what that quote is from, I will send you a Blu-ray of something.
Free Blu-ray to the first person who knows.
Unopened too. Not like a Blu-ray that I just have sitting around in my house. Well, I will buy a Blu-ray and I will send it to you.
The plastic is on it. I'm going to tell you like this. We watched it. We close it back up. We got a replasticing machine. No, we don't. We don't got that.
I wish I did.
We don't got, but if we did, yeah.
Because I've been watching movies and then taking them back.
You'll get a scratched up ass Blu-ray. You can't scratch a Blu-ray, but you'll get a scratched up Blu-ray with some gum on it with the plastic on it. But no, unopened Blu-ray for anybody that could tell us if you lock that fucking arm up in a fucking vault, it's coming off. I don't care. You find out where that's from.
This is where it's gonna happen. He's gonna lose his arm right here. Oh, you robbed me.
And hint, Blaine. That's all I gotta say. Blaine is a hint. But at the end of the day, and that's ratchetness at the end of the day. At the end of the day, ain't too many surprises. You know, Marissa Tomei was a surprise to me because I could watch her own Marvel show. I could watch Marissa Tomei in anything. I could watch Marissa Tomei fold boxes.
She's one of my favorites. She's definitely up there.
She is timelessly beautiful. Yeah. I could watch her fold boxes.
She's getting older and she just still looks.
She ain't getting older. She's Italian. She's getting thicker and better. She could fold boxes. She could stack glass bottles together. I wouldn't care. I watched that shit for 15 hours. But there's not too many surprises. And like I say, the sexuality ain't there. Even for women. I'm not just saying for men. Women, we were sitting in front of a row full of comic geek chicks, which I wish existed when I was a kid. But they don't exist. They didn't exist.
When we were growing up, oh my God.
You couldn't go on a date with four chicks or four to see Spawn. It wasn't happening.
And they were wearing comic book shirts.
Yeah, they're not wearing Marvel.
Stay until the end to see the end credit.
The one girl had on some Marvel pajama pants. Do you know what I've been doing with the Marvel pajama pants when she would? That's all I got to say at the theater.
Anyway,
I'm just saying. I'm keeping it in the hunt.
One thing I do kind of remember. One thing I want to say that they took from the comics that I like, but I'm kind of confused of how they're going to do it. Is they kind of played up the little Vision Scarlet Witch romance. Which I was kind of shocked because I think the android human love thing is a little. You
thought that was romance? I didn't think it was romance. I just thought you thought he was a cool guy. Like I didn't think.
But it's more on the Vision side than the Scarlet Witch side.
Okay.
The way Vision acts is more of a place that he has an affinity for.
By the way, going back to the sexiness, she was way sexier than Widow in that movie. I was really feeling her in that movie. She was looking extra good in that movie.
I have no complaints.
I was kind of shocked because I'm used to Widow looking like Widow. I'm like, Scarlett Johansson is top notch, but she's becoming one of the greatest. I'm just saying. But like I say, I'm a comic book nerd geek from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I need more women in the movies.
Well, and the one thing, and I was young.
I need more women.
I was kind of young when they were doing it, so my mom was not buying it for me. But you hit me to the bikini,
the Marvel swimsuit issue,
yeah, the swimsuit issues and stuff like that.
Which is that on your? Is that on the Unlimited? I need to find that.
No,
it's not on the Unlimited.
No, they're not. It's not on there.
That's bad.
Like they'll have them on there, but they're blacked out and you can't look at them. Just like any of the Marvel Max stuff, like Deadpool Max, Wolverine Max, Jessica Jones, like you can't read any of that stuff.
That's NC-17 type stuff.
But because the Max stuff, like especially with Jessica Jones, they be drawing nudity and like titties and stuff like that. So
nudity is.
But that was before Disney. That was before Disney bought it. You know what I'm saying?
So, oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. Disney can't have that stuff.
But I mean, but honestly though, not just being like, a guy, but honestly, you need that because that's part of comic book lore is having sexuality in there.
Oh, gotcha.
And if you don't have that, it's kind of even you could look at any comic book shit. It always got some kind of sexuality. If you ain't got the sexuality in there, you might as well just make me an Adam West Batman from 1963. Kapow, kapow.
And you know what?
Kaboom.
One thing, it was done a little bit better in this movie, but I feel like Marvel's really horrible at writing in the romance stuff.
Yeah.
And in these movies, like I go back to another thing I want to say too is, don't you wish they just didn't do Age of Ultron and they just did this movie and that was Avengers 2?
Yeah, because it's kind of pointless to have Age of Ultron.
It really is. Like, I was watching this and I was like, well, you should just get rid of Age of Ultron and you should have just done Civil War, Avengers Civil War, and that's Avengers 2, and you could have played it out over all of Phase 3 until you get to Infinity War. But the way you did it now, it's like, the movies that are coming up, we got Doctor Strange next, and it's an origin story, so you're not going to really have anything play out that... By the way, if you've watched the movie, you know that the story really didn't end. Like, there's really no ending to the story at the end of this movie.
Well, basically, they're just going to be separate groups, which they did in Ultron.
Yeah, exactly. But they're basically is going to be like, there's going to be Cap Avengers, there's going to be Iron Man Avengers.
Right.
And Cap Avengers is going to be outside the law. Iron Man's going to be
that's West Coast, East Coast. What is it? West Coast and then
West Coast Avengers, yeah. But like, I really felt like you should have just did this instead of Ultron. Well, and you could have saved Ultron too. Another thing is, like, Ultron's one of their better villains, and I didn't feel like they did it justice. At least the way you could have done it. It could have been way better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Ultron himself, he's doing jokes and all that jokes, spaghetti. It's the same thing. It's the same formula.
I didn't tell you so, crack. Hove did that.
Yeah, so
hopefully you won't have to go through that.
But here's my thing: when Thanos comes, are we gonna have jokes from Thanos? Mm-mm. I'm willing to bet
if there's jokes from Thanos, I'm gonna walk out the theater.
Well,
if Thanos is cracking jokes, I'm out the theater.
Well, get ready to walk. What kind of shoes you gonna wear? Because I'm gonna be with you, and I'm gonna laugh. Are you gonna leave? Because I'm gonna laugh at you.
I probably ain't gonna.
I know you ain't gonna leave, but I'm gonna laugh.
But I'm gonna be real mad, and I'm gonna be like, I hate this movie because Thanos is out here cracking jokes.
I'm gonna take my phone off cinema mode and put it on us and videotape the Thanos joke.
What you gonna do without that $2 off a fountain drink when you purchase the popcorn?
But $2 off still make the fountain drink $10, so it don't even matter. At the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, Ratchetness Part 1. You're going to get the same formula with Thanos. It ain't going to be dark. This dude is evil.
The one thing I hope they do with Avengers Infinity War, and by the way, the Russos who did this movie and The Winter Soldier are doing Avengers Infinity War. They said it's actually not going to be one big split up movie. It's going to be two separate movies, and they're going to be retitled. It's probably going to be like Avengers Infinity Gauntlet and then Avengers Infinity War or something like that. But they're still going to come out. They're going to shoot back to back, and they're going to come out 1 year apart or whatever. Which I hope that they flesh out Thanos as a villain. Like, they really, build him up to be this big, great villain that's all powerful. Like, and even to the end, like, they shouldn't be able to beat Thanos. At the end, Thanos should decide. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the, what was the one?
No. What's the name gonna beat him?
Oh, well, Warlock?
No. Well, he's supposed to.
Adam Warlock?
He's supposed to, but the daughter, from Guardians.
Oh, Gamora?
Not the good one.
Oh, Nebula. Yeah, Nebula. But there's a one story, it's not Infinity War, I can't remember what it is, where Thanos basically just, he could have destroyed everybody and then he decides not to or whatever.
Right. That's how it's supposed to be.
Like, that's kind of wanted. Like, we couldn't have beat you, but he decides not to kill everybody. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. They're not going to do that. I can guarantee that.
I'll just laugh when all these Marvel lovers just go to DC.
Don't DC fanboy me. Don't DC.
No. I'm not a DC fanboy. Right. I'm not. I'm a comic book fanboy.
All right.
But the thing is, people are fanboys of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the reason I get so upset about it is because I grew up on all of it. Like I say, we talk about this all the time, from Image to Vertigo to Dark Horse to everything. And to grow up and see all these people who was calling me a geek trying to be on the team of Marvel.
That's the most annoying thing
and that's why it's irritating me, because it's like, now you a comic book genius, you don't know nothing that's going on, and now you calling me whack because I like DC, but I like DC too. I don't like DC only. And now you going, when it happens, it's gonna go back. Y'all gonna go to DC. Now let Image come up with their stuff, or Milestone from DC come up with all their characters, and then you're gonna jump ship to whatever popular at the time. And that to me is very annoying, because right now Marvel's popular as hell. So that's the only reason why people are dealing with it. It's not because it's actually good. I mean, the product needs to be good. I don't need to have something just because it got Marvel behind it and Stan Lee, and he's not even behind it. It's Disney. And to me, that's a slap in my face, because Mickey Mouse is damn Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't need you to own Marvel. You don't have an idea of how to put this out. It's just like Modern Warfare, the video game. Oh. You come in, you take it over, and now it ain't even the same. But you got these fools that just love Modern Warfare because they loved it from the old Modern Warfare, and it's not no more.
What was the one where they changed it? Because I remember we used to play it. We played Modern Warfare.
Right after Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, and then someone bought it. Was it Ghost or something, or Black Ops, or
it became something. Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops, and then it became
like,
Call of Duty.
Whenever they bought it, and it was just like the game isn't the same anymore. Like, it's been changed. It's not the same. Like, it's not
bad.
as good.
It's bad, and that's what Marvel is. It's changed, and I don't know.
See, I don't even think it's changed. I think their biggest problem is the exact same as it's always been. Like, they just keep going through the script of doing the same thing over and over again, and they try to change it up to try to make one a comedy and one a drama, and then you got one. That's really loud.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
my bad.
It's very loud.
I guess it's like this. You trying to make movies, and they're not movies. They're comic books. And they're in movie form.
But they're like issues. Like, they're giving us like issue 1.
They give us like 10 issues in one movie. But it's still a comic book.
Yeah.
So when you try to make that a movie, it's not going to ever turn out right. Because, like I say, DC, you're looking at a comic book. You look at a comic book when you watch DC. Right. You look at Superman, and it's a bunch of bright stuff. Everything's light. Mm-hmm. You look at Batman, everything dark. You look at Wonder Woman, it's all like, I ain't really from here, and it's just weird, and you know what I'm saying, strange, but I'm up here chilling with y'all. You can see the comic book on the screen. You can see it. You can imagine it. Like, we adults, we don't have imaginations no more, but you can see it on the screen. You could imagine it back in your head what you read. Mm-hmm. You can't do that with Marvel. You can't be like, oh, I used to read this. This is what I used to read, and if I read this and this is what I was picturing, you're not going to get that.
Well, we did a Batman vs Superman review that never went up, and it's too late to put it up now. But one of the things we talked about was, one of the things Zack Snyder did was he took a bunch of elements from different stories, like The Dark Knight Returns. Like, he took stuff from that. He took stuff from the death of Superman. But, like, when you're watching the movie, you literally see, like, either the cover or like literally panels from the comic ripped out and put on screen, and people who read that are looking at it and they're like, oh dude, I remember literally that right there from the comics, and literally followed those stories almost to a T, like, and paid mad respect to the comics that he basically recreated on the screen.
But
he still made it his own story and still made it something that was different.
Knowing movies, if you know how they produce them and create them, the storyboard is nothing but a comic book. Mm-hmm. So why don't you just use the comic book as your storyboard? Yeah. It's the same thing. And you could take pages out. If you read, like I told you, I was reading the Civil War. Mm-hmm. They take excerpts from all the comics and just enter them boys into the Civil War books themselves. It might take a piece from the Illuminati stuff or the New Avengers, and then they just enter that into one page of the book that you're reading, and it's the same thing. Yeah. So why don't you just take those pages out and make a 2.5 hour movie, take 230 pages and make it like it's supposed to be.
And by the way, people who don't know screenwriting, a page is a minute.
Right. And just do it. But at the end of the day, ratchet clap, it's the same thing. It's not right. And they're not going to do it right because the almighty dollar is what really determines it. So they know they ain't got to do nothing for real. If you had a job and you know you can make money doing some the least work ever, that's what you're going to do.
The thing is, like, this movie's going to make between 1.1 and probably 1.3, 1.4 billion.
And it should.
Probably.
It should.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It should make $750 million.
I mean, like, yeah, probably.
That's how much
it's going to make a bunch of money. Because, one, it's an Avengers movie. And people are going to go out there.
And people like Robert Downey Jr. And women like Chris Evans. And people like Emily Osment. I like Emily Osment. And I like...
Agent 13. Yeah.
No. What's her name?
Elizabeth Olsen?
Elizabeth Olsen. Who's Emily Osment?
That's
Agent 13? I think that might be Agent 13.
Is that her name? I don't know what her name is. I've seen her.
Yeah, I like Elizabeth Olsen. And I like fucking Black Widow. Mm-hmm. And I like Black Panther. And I like Falcon. And I like Ant-Man. And I like Iron Man. The characters. The people. Yeah. Not the character. The people. Yeah. I like them as actors. And they know they can make money because people like actors. It's just programming by America. They know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be good. And they know they ain't got to make it good. So,
do you know what Marvel's doing right now?
Making cupcakes.
What they're doing is paint by numbers.
Yeah,
it's filling the blank, man. It's filling the blank. It's you just have this stuff and you just put certain things into different places and you make a story out of it, and it's just so redundant, man. It's just I just feel like I get outside of literally Guardians. Guardians was like the only thing that was, to me, was just like so different and so unique, but at the same time, that's also James Gunn. And if you've ever watched any of Slither or Super, he hasn't done a lot. He really hasn't done a lot. He's done some more on some script writing stuff, but as a director, he basically did Slither. He basically did Super, and they're both super unique movies. And then he did Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're all very super unique movies. Outside of that, like, I just feel like everything's just the exact same. Like, I just keep getting the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm kind of getting sick of it. Like, I'm just getting the same thing. And I like the movie. Like, it sounds like I hated the movie. I liked the movie. It was a good movie. It's just the exact same.
You didn't like it as much as you think you liked it.
I should have loved it. And I don't love it. I just like it. Like, but I felt the same way about Captain America Civil War. But part of that was because everybody said it was the greatest Marvel movie ever made. And by the way, they're saying this exact same thing about this Captain America. That is the greatest Marvel movie ever made.
Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Civil War.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Winter Soldier. But they say the same thing about Civil War,
They say about every one of them.
Pretty much every movie that come out. But it goes to your thing. Which I don't know if they're actually doing this. But it's very possible that they're paying to get reviews and also paying to give other people bad reviews.
Disney smear campaign on anything that's not Marvel. And the fact that it's pop culture.
I don't know if that's actually happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's possible. It's possible, but I highly doubt it.
I believe it's happening.
I think a lot of people, because when Ant-Man came out, people were like, yes, it's the death of the superhero movies. Because it didn't have a great opening weekend. But it still outdid Thor, the first Thor. It outdid the first Captain America. It outdid basically everything but Iron Man and the first Guardians.
Who was in it?
Oh, Paul Rudd.
He's not A-list. He might be.
I mean, he's A-list on a comedy standpoint, but not on
he's very low A-list.
Not an action movie.
If the A is...
he's an A-list if Judd Apatow...
He's a 90% A-list.
If Judd Apatow is making the movie, he's an A-list.
He's an A-list for 90%. Like, if an A grade is A, 90 to 100, he's 90. He's not 97. He's not... like Chris Evans to me is like 93. Robert Downey Jr. is like 99.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Johnny Depp 99. Will Smith 99. These people are people like we're going to see it. I don't care what the movie about. Like Ice Cube like 97. Like we're just going to go see it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Certain people, Tom Hanks, like certain people, you just going to go see it because he's in it. But he's a low A-lister, and so that's why. and then he had a bunch of Mexican people in it. He had T.I. in it. Yeah. Like nobody, they're not gonna go see that and support that.
You put T.I. and then you had Michael Pena, and the thing that tripped me out was the people.
Don't go to that. Don't go to that.
I'm not gonna go to that.
Don't go to that.
Yeah. But like you had all these different diverse characters and all this stuff, and it's like, we don't really like it.
We don't like it.
We don't like it.
We don't like it.
But that was actually one of the. I mean, that's definitely top 5 Marvel movies.
But as far as charisma and actually being likable, it's up there. You know, and that's what, like I say, I don't know why they don't get the blueprint. Like Guardians had a lot of people that, you know, they had your homeboy from WWE.
When they had Chris Pratt, who was basically a nobody. No, he was
not Community.
He was Parks and Rec. But he did a couple like beat list comedy movies. Like he never really did anything. And even the director said, like, I kept telling him, no, I don't even want to see him read or whatever. And then Chris Pratt didn't even want to read for the role either. Like the casting director just kept saying to both of them, like, yeah, read for the part. Have this person read for the part. No. And then eventually he did, and they were like, oh yeah, he's Star-Lord, you know, or whatever. Like outside of, I mean, they had Vin Diesel was Groot, but who cares? He just says, I am Groot. And it's a deep.
Oh yeah, it's the voice.
I am Groot. And then Bradley Cooper was Rocket Raccoon's voice. But it's just a voice. Like I bet you if people didn't know who the voice was, they would never pick out that it was Bradley Cooper.
You ain't got to pay him as much.
But then you had, like you said, you had Batista from WWE. The only real star was Zoe, and then you had Pratt. Like you didn't have any stars in here. And then what was it Lee Pace or something like that? The guy who was the Creed.
Oh yeah, bad guy. And you had a Nova Corps dude from Step Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, like, but even he's not a superstar.
No A-listers, like, and then you got Ant-Man. No A-listers except for Martin Sheen. And you had Eva. Evangelina, whatever her name is. But they're not really A-list. Martin Sheen used to be, but he never really was a super A-lister. Martin Sheen.
Oh, gotcha. No.
He was always
like he had his moments and he
didn't really have. You can't really name a Martin Sheen movie.
Basic Instinct, or was it Basic Instinct?
No,
was it?
That's Michael Douglas. You never really had a Martin Sheen top A-list movie. Not really. I mean, I can't think of one.
Wait, was it Michael Douglas?
Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen daddy. Like he ain't. Really, Michael Douglas was in Michael Douglas, Basic Instinct.
Wasn't it Michael Douglas? I'm sure. I can't remember.
You thinking Martin Sheen? Martin Sheen is not Michael Douglas. They remind you of each other.
No, I thought it was Douglas that was in.
In what?
In Ant-Man.
That's Martin Sheen, bro.
Oh, was it?
That's Martin Sheen. Remember, because they showed him as a young Martin Sheen. That's Martin Sheen.
I can't remember.
Trust me, that's Martin Sheen.
Right,
I know one thing I do know is actors. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it. I'll take it. Trust me. Half the time I don't even know an actor's name, and you tell me who it is.
Yeah. Trust me. That's one thing my dad gave to me. That's crazy. My dad's more a musical guy. Like he hears somebody playing the bass guitar, they can strum one note, and he knows.
It was Douglas.
He knows who they are.
I don't know why.
I never forget. I was riding with my mom and in the car, and we was listening to something, and I told her who it was, and she was like, "You get that from your dad because he knows they're all actors and musicians." I just know that. They just as soon as I see them one time, I know who they are. So
you gotta look it up. Man.
It's Martin Sheen.
But get on your phone and look it up real quick. This is because for some reason I keep thinking it's Douglas. I don't know why, but it just for something inside me just keeps saying it's Douglas.
Now you got me thinking it might be Douglas.
I think it is Douglas. It's Douglas, wasn't it? Wasn't it Douglas? I could have sworn it was Douglas. I mean, they both look the same, but
that's what I'm saying. Now you might
they both look the exact same.
Now you got me thinking
are the exact same people. I think it was Douglas.
It was Douglas.
It was Douglas, right?
It was Douglas. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking right now, but it is Douglas.
It was Douglas, right? Yeah, it was Douglas.
The motherfuckers look exactly.
They look exactly alike, man.
Now you got me messed up because I just made a rant about
how you know everything,
and now it's Michael Douglas. But what was Martin Sheen in? Now I'm messed up because I think Martin Sheen was in something.
I don't think he was in
Spider-Man. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Anyways, one thing I did want to say.
Disregard my whole ass rant.
Yeah.
No, don't disregard it.
He knows nothing about any actors
1% of mess up is me. Players mess up. You remedial.
I will tell you this. He may have had maybe 1 or 2 adult beverages tonight after the movie. It's possible.
I don't
know.
I might have had a beer.
I don't know if it was a beer. It might have been a road pop or something.
Right, I might have had a road pop. I might have got a little bit of tipsiness. But Man, she looked good on Baywatch. But
anyways, one thing I did want to say, and the person who wrote Civil War in the comics is Mark Miller. Mark Miller is kick-ass. He's wanted. He's I'm trying to think.
They want him to kick ass. What?
He wrote Kick-Ass. He wrote Kick-Ass. He wrote the movie. He wrote the comic book Wanted, which was made into a movie. What else was it? There was something else that came out that he wrote. I don't know. My mind's slipping right now. But the thing is I remember reading an article about one of the movie producers was talking about it, and they were talking about Mark Miller, and they said that he writes comic books to be made into movies. Like, that's what it is. Like, his comic books are basically movie scripts. And that's why, like, he's got basically everything he writes now gets optioned and made into a movie. He's got his comic Superiors coming out as a movie. He's got Starlight, it's coming out as a movie. His new one, was it Emperor, I think, or Empress? I think it's Empress. Is coming out as a movie. Like, basically everything he writes gets optioned as a movie now. Because the way he writes things is basically tailor-made to make movies. Well, Mark Miller is the one who wrote Civil War. And Civil War is tailor-made to be made into a movie. But the problem is, wow, I can definitely hear that on the microphone. But the problem is like, if you take someone who basically writes stuff as a movie script and makes it a comic book, why can you not take something that he wrote and make it and adapt it to a movie? Like, the thing I was just saying, he walked out of the room for a minute, is like, he wrote Kick-Ass, he wrote all the stuff, and everything is made as basically as a movie script, and he puts it into like a 7 or 8 issue comic. But it's just a movie script. That's basically all it is. Like, his comics are just movie scripts. But he wrote Civil War, and you can't just adapt it. Because Civil War is 7 comics. It's 7, 8 comics. It's what, you get 24 to 30 pages in each book. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking, whatever it is, 200 pages, 200 some pages.
But they can't do it because you got too many other characters that they don't own.
But see, you don't even have to own the characters. You can just supplement them with different characters.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
It's not going to make sense then.
It can make sense if you keep the story the same.
You mean, yeah, I feel what you're saying, but it's still...
Like, does it matter that it's Tony Stark and Reed Richards? No,
yeah.
But it matters in the comic book world. In the movie world, it doesn't matter. It could be Tony Stark and Doctor Strange.
Because the dynamic of Reed Richards being a family man...
As a character,
and dipping on his family to help Tony get Cap.
And part of the one part that was so great about Civil War was the family was split. The Fantastic Four, Sue and Johnny were anti-registration, and then Reed was pro-registration. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I don't know. I just get mad when they adapt great stories and basically just ruin them by not doing the story.
Yeah, you omit the key points and expect it to be okay. And you can't omit the key points. DC doesn't omit it. As much as you hate them to keep talking about Batman parents getting killed, you can't omit that.
But see, the thing that was crazy is like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, but before we saw all the scenes and we already knew Batman's parents were going to get killed again, like 6 months before the movie came out. And I was mad. I was like, I do not want to see Batman's parents get killed another time. I'm so sick and tired of seeing Batman's parents get killed. We get the point. But then you watch the movie, and while I'm one that says that I don't really agree with the whole Martha thing, like I'm one that didn't really like the whole Martha aspect of that's why they became friends and all that stuff. I will say, as a part of the movie, the way the story goes is you did have to show Batman's parents get killed to have the effect at the end with the Martha thing. You had to do it.
But people trip about that, but I'm like, don't play Superman like he ain't smart. He's smart too. So he knew the only way to get to that dude was to say Martha. Yeah. He's not saying that to call his mom out her name. He's saying that to be like, your mom named Martha too. He a reporter. Mm-hmm. He gonna do his research and he's smart. He gonna be like, well, that's his mom named Martha too. That's odd. So at the end of the day, he like, well, I can use that to let this man stop. You know what I'm saying? He gonna kill Martha. What? Martha? Why you say that? And everybody like, I've seen memes on it and all that. Martha, that's goofy. That's not goofy.
There's some very funny memes.
But it's not goofy because it makes all the sense in the world if you know that Superman's smart. Most people don't know that. Yeah. Most people think Superman is just some dude that fly around and he dumb. And he's not dumb. You know what I'm saying? And that's, they take it from the book and they translate it well because he's not dumb. He just didn't know who Bruce was. Dude told him. He went and did his research on him. I mean, flat out. It's that simple. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I just didn't like that he says the word and then like they besties. And then just like,
no, it ain't besties. He just got his mom got killed and he's not gonna let his mom get killed. That's it. I'm not gonna let your mom get killed.
I didn't think they portrayed that well enough.
No, Batman is not gonna let nobody get killed for the sake of trying to kill an alien.
Unless it's Zack Snyder and Batman's killing everybody.
Well, no, but
that's a whole
other thing. But what I'm saying is he's not gonna let Superman peoples get killed. Yeah. It makes sense. He's a hero. A hero gonna be hero first. He ain't gonna be like. Oh.
And by the way, I mean, like I tripped on the whole Batman killing people, but how big was the body count in Civil War? Like they had the one part where there was like he's like, Bucky, you're gonna kill people. He's like, I'm not gonna kill anybody. And then he goes on and starts fighting people. I'm like, you threw a cinder block into a dude's chest. It's very unlikely he's gonna live through that. If he does, he's gonna have a horrible life.
Yeah, he messed up.
But he could have died. There's a very good possibility he could have died. Like, I don't know. Yeah. The body count. I mean, Falcon out here shooting people with guns and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's body count like crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. We've been doing this for like almost an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and end it. Anything you want to say about the movie that hasn't been said?
I mean, go see it if you love Marvel, because you're gonna love it. If you like Marvel, go see it because you can have some good criticism on it. At the end of the day, like I say, it's a 6.5. It's okay.
I give it probably a 7. I like the way they ended it, even though it doesn't have an ending, because the movie really doesn't have an ending. I like the way they ended it because you can't do Civil War in one movie. But at the same time, I have to withhold judgment on the movie to see where the story goes and how it plays out. But at the same time, I really don't understand where you're going to play it out outside of Spider-Man. And I don't really want you to play it out in Spider-Man because I want a Spider-Man movie. I don't want it to be Civil War Part 2 in Spider-Man.
It will
and
be
then
because that's
Black Panther. I want a Black Panther movie. I don't want Civil War Part 3 or Part 2. Like, I don't want that.
I don't think it's gonna be Civil War in that because he when they showed the mid credit scene, he was saying like let him come from him or whatever. I don't think they got.
But see, that's gonna be Civil War because they're gonna come for him because he got Bucky.
No, but it ain't gonna have nothing to do with Cap or Iron. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man gonna have to do with Iron because he gave him the little thing on his wrist. There's the Spider-Man signal.
Well, he did the mentorship role, and that's straight out of Civil War. I give him credit for that. Right. That's straight out of Civil War. But anyway, all right, we're gonna go ahead and end this. This has been about an hour. If you like this video, definitely subscribe. Hit the like button. Go down and comment, especially because I'm gonna give away a Blu-ray. Right. So if you know the quote from the movie that we were talking about earlier, go down there and tell us.
It's going to be a Blu-ray of the Toxic Avenger 3.
If you think we're crazy about what we're saying about this, go tell us how stupid we are.
Talk trash. Because I'm going to talk trash back to you because you whack. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you definitely going to talk trash.
Martin Sheen is Michael Douglas.
Exactly. They're the same people. There's no difference.
Exactly. Go check it out.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen's daddy is Michael Douglas. You didn't know that?
Go look it up.
All right. Anyway. We're going to wrap it up anyway. This is Blake.
This is Pop. Wrap it up, B.
And this is Before You Watch. We'll check you next time.